What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we are going to be talking about the Freedom Ordnance FX-9 9mm pistol. Now, before I do that, I want to mention my patron supporters. As always, thank you guys very much. Because of you, we do monthly giveaways, patron-only content. I really appreciate you now more than ever, since my channel has been 100% demonetized by YouTube. So most of the ammo and guns you see on the channel is paid for by you, so thank you very much. I also have some other links down there in the description as well, besides the patron link, Amazon links. I have a local homeless shelter I really support. Now we'll get back to the FX-9. So what is the FX-9? Well, mine is an 8-inch barrel 9mm blowback operated AR-15 style 9mm pistol. Now I say mine because there's several other versions, however I think the 8-inch version is the most popular. Try to think small 9mm AR-15 that you don't need a tax stamp for, that you can buy right out of the store that happens to take Glock magazines. Mine has a 24-inch overall length, and it weighs 5.2 pounds, making it very lightweight and compact, so if you need something to store in a truck or in a case, or if you just want something easy to use for your wife or maybe for your child, it's a pretty good way to go. It's made from billet aluminum, it has an M-lock rail, it has a fake suppressor, it also has a mil-spec buffer tube, and it comes with a shockwave brace. However, if you look right here, I have replaced mine with an SBA-3. I do have several videos on braces, and I do believe the SBA-3 is my favorite and the most superior out of the pack, and it's significantly better than the shockwave that comes with it. However, it's also more cost. The shockwave works great for the price, however, the SBA-3 is just better, but it is, again, 2 to 3 times the cost. Now, I'll go through front to back here on this pistol in a minute, but as you can see there, it is fairly well used. I have 1,000 rounds down through this pistol. Sadly, not all of it was on camera. This used to be my buddy's pistol, and I did trade him for another gun. He had a couple hundred rounds through it, and then I put the rest, something like 800 rounds myself. A lot of that was done just while we were shooting for fun, so I don't quite have as much shooting footage as I would have normally with a 1,000-round review, but it definitely has seen well over 1,000 rounds. Now, the nice thing about it is that it is a very short barrel. It is chambered in 9mm. It does take Glock magazines. So Glock magazine compatibility is quickly becoming the most popular magazine compatibility for AR-15 style pistols that are in 9mm because everybody has Glock magazines, and Glock magazines are super cheap. And it's nice to have the same ammo and magazines for your shoulder-fired weapon as your pistol, even though they're both pistols. You know, same concept they've had for, you know, last couple hundred years. Even old cowboys in the Old West had the same concept with 44 long Colt, stuff like that. Even revolvers today can shoot .357, and lever actions can shoot .357, and on the circle goes. So what I like about small pistol caliber carbines like this is most people ask, what's the best home defense gun? Well, that depends on your house. For me, it's a rifle, for sure, because if I shoot through the walls, nobody's going to get hit. I live several miles from the nearest person, not a big problem. Now, if you live in an apartment complex, that's where it gets tricky, right? So the nice thing about 9mm hollow points and frangible ammo is that it will break up in drywall better than most other types of ammunition. I say better because nothing is perfect, but the reality is if you're going to use FMJ, you're still going to go through 10 layers of drywall. If you use 5.56, if you use frangible stuff, it's not bad, but it's still going to go through more layers of drywall than a 9mm frangible or a 9mm hollow point. If you're going to go with 9mm for home defense because you live in an apartment complex or you live in a very populated neighborhood, something like that, I think the perfect match for that is a PCC. Because under stress, it's difficult to do the same things you would do on a regular day. Imagine kind of a third the skill level with your firearm that you would have at the range in a real life situation. More points of contact, it's easier to control the gun, and it's easier to put rounds on target intuitively. So you're going to be threat focused if somebody breaks in your house, and you're going to be looking at them, and it's nice to have a red dot on a PCC, put the red dot on the guy, take care of the guy or girl, whatever. And that's why I think a PCC is superior. It's just easier to shoot, especially for lesser trained people. And I think you should train with all your firearms, but if you have limited time and you don't go to the range a lot and you just don't have the ability, totally fine. Get a weapon like this, it's going to be much easier to use, and it's still very lightweight and still very compact. So I think it really is the best of both worlds. So I mean, if you're looking for a home defense weapon for an apartment or something like that, it's a pretty good choice. Not just this one, but any of these in the genre, whether that be the X-Star, the Banshee, the MP5, if you got the cash. The new LWRC is even more expensive than that, but they all work fairly well. Pistol caliber carbines have come back in vogue for a reason. Let's get back to the Freedom Ordnance FX-9. If you're going to get a PCC for home defense or for a truck gun, why would you get this one? Well, number one, it's going to be because it's fairly reliable. I've shot over 1,000 rounds through this, like I said, and between me and my buddy, we only saw one failure. And that failure was a stovepipe, and it's also probably because we've shot all those rounds without even cleaning this, and I think we only lubed it once. So honestly, I could kind of attribute that to just simply misuse. Not only misuse, but that entire 1,000 rounds were all remanufactured ammo as well. So I would say that this is more than reliable enough for any situation. Now, I did shoot a box of critical defense through this, because if I was going to use this as a home defense weapon, I would use critical defense. And people ask me why I use critical defense. I've had several videos on that, but I used it for this video because that's my main defense ammo, and I have a lot of it. I actually stockpile defensive ammo as well, and I like to make sure that guns that I'm going to suggest for home defense will run hollow points, since that is what I'm telling you to use. So it's very reliable. That's number one. It's also pretty accurate. More accurate than a pistol for sure. Again, it's just easier to fire a weapon like this than it is a weapon like this. Now, with some practice, you can be very good with a handgun, but the reality is you're still going to be better with this. And I think the accuracy on this, I didn't put it on paper, but I would guess it's somewhere between 3 and 5 MOA, which is kind of the average for an 8-inch or a 5-inch pistol caliber carbine. So I would say it's on par with any other pistol caliber carbine, whether that be the Banshee or the X-Star. Most of them have similar accuracy, and honestly, you're not going to be shooting 400, 500 yards with these anyway, so point of impact at 100 yards is perfect for me. The ergonomics on this pistol is pretty good. As I said, I would prefer if they came with a better brace, which is why I put it on there, but it's got the mil-spec tube, so not a problem. You can replace that with whichever flavor fits you the best. I really like the SBA 3, the SBA 4. Looks cool, I haven't tried it yet, and the Tailhook Mod 2 is also a pretty excellent choice. Whichever one of those you're looking at, I would suggest all those, and most braces will work no matter what you do. It comes with the MOA grip here. I like that. It looks a little weird at the top there, and honestly, I'm pretty sure it comes with this. My buddy might have put that on there, but I'm pretty sure it does, and it works very well, as Magpul products do. The charging handle is Freedom Ordnance. It's only got the one side. It's not ambidextrous, but what are you going to do? It still works just fine. I wish it was extended a little bit, but no big deal. The magazine release is over here, and it does work very nice, and as I said, that mag well does take Glock Mags, which is, you know, really my preferred magazine for pistol caliber carbines, not only for reliability, but just for ease of use and cost, because having a lot of magazines is super nice, whether you're out plinking or whether you're actually using it for a serious situation. That is the M-lock rail right there, and that is the fake suppressor slash barrel shroud, whatever you want to call that, and it looks pretty cool, I have to admit. However, there are more functional muzzle devices on the market for sure, and if I was going to do this, if I was going to make a pistol, I probably wouldn't have this, but it is a really, really good choice for home defense, considering you don't have to worry about blast and things like that. My buddy also threw a hand stop here, which works very well. You know, guns like this with I think it's like 12.5 or something like that. Pistols can't have a vertical grip. This would feel a lot better with a vertical grip, but you can't have it because of the ATF, so what are you going to do? The safety works really well, and the trigger is pretty good for a pistol caliber carbine, I have to admit. Better, in my opinion, than most other pistol caliber carbines I've tried. Now, as far as recoil management goes, it does have a little bit more recoil because it is straight blowback than some of the other pistol caliber carbines that I've tried, like the roller delayed MP5, for example, or the MPX has really low recoil, and even the Banshee and the X-Star have interesting little recoil mitigating factors to them in their operation, and this one does not. So out of all the pistol caliber carbines that I've tried, I think this has the most recoil. Now that's kind of splitting hairs because it is a 9mm after all, and 9mm doesn't have a lot of recoil, but it will surprise you in a blowback pistol caliber carbine like this because of the mass of the bolt. It does have a little bit more recoil than your standard AR-15, even though it shoots a lighter caliber. So if you're looking for something for low recoil, this is probably not it. However, it's not that big of a deal either. For most people, you won't even notice. But if you're trying to get your grandma to shoot or your 12-year-old daughter or something like that, maybe there are better choices out there. I can still shoot it pretty much as fast or just as fast as all the other pistol caliber carbines. However, I do notice I'm just holding it to my shoulder a little bit harder. So some of that's just technique, and maybe it'll just make you a better shooter overall. The bolt release, all that works really well, and it does have a really cool billet look to it, and so does the gun overall. It has a nice, interesting, futuristic look to it. Mine's a little bit beat up, obviously, but it does look really cool overall. Probably a better looking gun than the X-Star. However, the X-Star is a pound lighter than this, but it doesn't have the durability of the billet aluminum frame because the X-Star is polymer. So you lose a little bit of durability, gain a little bit of weight savings. It's really up to you. Now the price on this guy is around $600, which is, to me, fantastic. One of the cheaper pistol caliber carbines you can get on the market. For some reason, pistol caliber carbines, even though they're just 9mm blowback most of the time, can be a little pricey. And I really like the fact that Freedom Ordnance brought this to the market with a lot of accessories that you don't get on normal pistol caliber carbines for a really low price. And I haven't tried their company before, but I may have to buy a couple more of them from them and see how that goes. I know I'm in the market right now for a pistol caliber carbine and a 16-inch barrel to use for a PCC competition for USPSA. And I'm thinking I might go with a SIG MPX, but now that I've tried this, I might actually consider a Freedom Ordnance as well. Like I said, the recoil is a little bit more, but man, it's a whole hell of a lot cheaper than an MPX or an MP5, I'll tell you that. So if you're in the market for a PCC that is around $600, I really can't recommend this guy enough. Like I said, I obviously changed the brace, and eventually down the road, I'm probably going to do something with the rail system as well. I might actually use a Vendetta Precision hand stop since I like that a little bit better than this one. But overall, it handles very well so far. Love the Glock Mags. I love the reliability, love the accuracy, love the portability. The X-Star I tend to shoot a little bit more because it is a lot lighter, and my wife does like that a little bit more because even though it's a pound lighter, it does have a little bit less recoil. However, overall, for a long-term investment, I would consider the billet receiver of this to be a significantly better choice. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.